All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all for coming. So in today's session, we'll cover Yammer's roadmap for enhanced integration, security, and compliance. I guess before we start, just some quick introductions. My name is Mohammed. I'm the Director of Engineering for Yammer. With me, Kevin, John, and Dante. Kevin runs the services engineering team at Yammer. John is the engineering lead for our data residency program, and Dante is the engineering lead for our security engineering team. And I guess one last thing before we start, I guess we'll take questions in the end, so please do ask questions. Let's save them for the end. All right, so I guess with that, let's start. So today we have some very exciting new features to talk about, but I guess before we go into those details, I would like us to take a step back and just talk a little bit about our commitment and vision. So we know how important security and compliance is for our users and customers. And we are committed to continue delivering on this. Our vision is to ensure that Yammer's users and customers get a singular, consistent security and compliance experience similar to what they get across Office 365. And to this effect, Yammer has invested heavily in leveraging the Office 365 infrastructure and platform. And Yammer continues to converge on top of the Office 365 platform. And this has indeed accelerated the security and compliance capabilities we can offer. So before we go there, why is it important for Yammer to continue converging onto the Office 365 platform? Office 365 is a global cloud productivity service. It has been built from the ground up with security in mind. It operates on a global, hyperscale, enterprise-grade infrastructure. And what's really so special about this service is that we have this secured global cloud productivity service which can still meet your local or regional data residency requirements. Yammer, as we all know, is part of the Office 365 suite. And our goal is to ensure that Yammer is truly a part of this global infrastructure, so we can continue to benefit and our customers can continue to benefit from this global infrastructure. But this is not the start of a new journey for Yammer. Yammer has already been on this journey. If you look at the last 18 months, the last 24 months, Yammer tenants have been mapped to Office 365 tenants. Yammer users have been mapped to Office 365 users. Yammer groups have been linked to Office 365 groups. Yammer is EUMC, HIPAA, SOC 2, ISO 27001, and ISO 27018 compliant. Yammer offers mobile application management for enterprise security for devices. We have enabled admin, user, and domain lifecycle support, and many other such features. And this has all laid the foundations for the new security and compliance features we'll talk about today. So let's look at what's coming in the next 12 to 15 months. Local data residency. This has been a top ask of our customers. And today, we are super excited to announce that Yammer will support local data residency capability for storing Yammer messages data at rest locally or regionally where applicable. So let's talk about the next few steps as we roll this out. Next quarter, Q4 of 2017, we will kick it off with the preview program. This will be a voluntary program, but we would love for all of you to participate so we can get some early feedback. We'll share some instructions later on how you can participate in the program. In Q2 of 2018, we will EU in GA for new tenants only. And then beyond, in the second half of 2018, we will expand the GA to GA in other regions, and we will start rolling this out to existing customers. So I talked a lot about the importance of converging the Yammer platform on top of the Office 365 platform. Local data residency is one such benefit of that convergence, but there are others. Tied to the local data residency program, we'll also enable e-discovery, DLP, and customer logbox, again, starting in Q2 of 2018 and then further out into the second half of 2018. GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. GDPR is coming effective May of 2018. And we are working very closely with the Office Trust Center to ensure that Yammer is GDPR compliant. In Q2 of 2018, we will offer a more seamless session management capabilities, together with, for you to control, with more finer granular control of your session token lifetimes. And last but not the least, we are very excited to announce that in Q2 of 2018, Yammer groups will start being backed by SharePoint document libraries for files. What this means is that not only the users will have a richer document experience, but because Yammer files will be backed by SharePoint document libraries, we will get the same high security and compliance bar which SharePoint offers. So I hope you're all excited about what's coming next 12 to 15 months. I know we talked a lot of breadth, so next we'll go into the details of each of these. Next up, data residency, and John Boyle will walk you through that. John.
Thanks, Mohammed. So what is data residency? It's the ability for you to choose where you store your data, in which geographic region, and we're going to start that in Europe and roll out from there. Yammer's been working hard on the promise of data residency over the last few months, 24 months, and it's going to take a bit more time for us to get there. But going through what we've done so far, we've moved our services into Microsoft data centers in North America. We've invested in Azure infrastructure as a service, so we can now deploy our services globally. We've integrated with the Microsoft Global Network, specifically our Edge network, which enhances our performance globally, allowing SSL termination locally in cities all over the world. Those infrastructure components are just the building blocks. On top of that, we have integrated more of our services with Microsoft O365. Notably, we have now made tenants fully connected to Azure Active Directory. This provides the foundation for authentication throughout O365 services. We've connected to Office 365 groups. And the exciting thing is, at a product level, that links SharePoint, OneNote, and other services. But importantly, for data at rest, it lines us up to be able to store data in O365 globally for each of these groups. SharePoint document libraries has also come with connected groups and is foundational in our ability to actually geo-distribute files as we retire Yammer storage in Azure. So with that, and on top of those key foundational pieces, we expect to be able to offer Yammer data residency for messages and files in spring 2018. So where does that sit with the rest of the Office suite? Today, as mentioned before, we are in the USA. We're trying to deliver on the promise of O365 with deeper integration. We expect in spring that we'll be able to move up to in-geo availability. We're not going to make it in this immediate period to the contractually committed level of other properties. This is owing to as a progressive rollout across geographic regions. However, you will note that SharePoint files will be contractually committed in every geolocation. So just running through some of the dates that we have for rolling out data residency. Early preview will be in the spring of 2018. This will be open to a small number of customers who are prepared to give us feedback and work on the performance of data residency in the European region. Production preview is where we're going to continue the preview program, but open up to more customers. At that point, we expect to have more features available and to have a much better experience. Early preview is very critical to us to get feedback from our customers. Mohammed will talk through how you can sign up for the preview program later in the presentation, but we welcome people putting themselves forward for preview. The preview will only be applicable to new tenants. This is owing to the restrictions that we have today with our O365 group integration. There are a number of challenges with integrating into O365. Today, we cannot integrate secret groups, map one-to-many networks, and a number of other features which restrict us offering this to all customers immediately. So with the preview, we expect to be able to onboard customers with that different set of features with those groups. Files, however, will be available in spring 2018. That will be available for new groups that are created in Microsoft Yammer. With the successful GA in Europe, we will start to move out to other regions through 2018. So where will your data be located? On this URL, you can go to find out exactly where your data is located for O365 tenants worldwide. Today, Yammer is listed in North America on this site, but going forward, we expect that we will be co-located with Exchange Online locations. So on this map, you will see for Europe and the UK, we already listed the data centers where Exchange Online is available. With O365 Singular Experience, you can expect to be able to select your tenant like you do for any other, region for your tenant like you do for any other application. Looking forward to when Yammer can be enabled for existing customers. By default, Yammer data will, at rest, will co-locate with Exchange Online. We expect this process to be seamless to customers. And in fact, through this rollout, in the background, we will be doing a lot of A/B testing to understand the performance and ensure that as we roll out data residency, it is only additive to the Yammer experience today. On a side note, if you're interested to find out more about how we build and roll out, there's a session tomorrow afternoon titled How We Build. I encourage you to go along and find out more about how we roll out software. So just to reiterate, Yammer data residency scope. Core messaging will be stored. So this includes message body and text. Today, it will not include social gestures, such as likes, tags, topics, etc. We're focusing on what we believe is most important to customers. Files, with SharePoint integration, we expect to be able to store group files in SharePoint, and for private messages, storing those in OneDrive. It's worth noting that we are not going to be rolling out to geographic locations, and we don't have planned at the moment government and sovereign locations. That requires additional compliance requirements of Yammer. We're working towards those, but we can't announce a date today when we're going to be able to roll those out. So please bear that in mind when you think about your customers and your needs. So with that, we're going to do a quick demo of files in SharePoint. This illustrates, let's bring this up. This will illustrate loading Yammer files into SharePoint document libraries. I don't know if you've been to any of the other presentations, but there's been a lot of talk about New Zealand. And I'm from Scotland. People say New Zealand's a beautiful place. I haven't been there. But from a personal perspective, we're going to talk about visiting Scotland today. So here we have Yammer, the Contoso travel application. I'm going to actually upload a file, a PowerPoint file, directly in Yammer, and then we'll see it appear in SharePoint document library. So let me see if this is going to work today. So here we have the file uploading, just as you normally would in Yammer. Just a couple of seconds. File successfully uploaded. You can actually see the preview image appear straight away. So let me just post this. Golf in Scotland is amazing, but I'm not a huge golfer, just to let you know. I was there earlier this year with my father's 75th, and we went to Machrihanish Golf Club. Let me just refresh the page. Here we go, Golf in Scotland. So this is a SharePoint document library. I'll just open the PowerPoint that I just uploaded. And here we are. Visit Machrihanish. And I had to copy and paste that because I don't know how to spell it exactly, but I can pronounce it. One of the greatest opening holes in golf. I bounced off the beach, but I got onto the fairway, so it was all good. So that is document libraries in Yammer. And when we, as I say, just to reiterate, when we move to document libraries, you will get all the benefits of geolocation, data residency. So while I'm up here, and I'm a bit excited, I'm not too sure, we haven't particularly set this demo up. I really wanted to show how, where we are in the program. So this is Yammer's Gotham City network. Gotham City is where our engineers are working today on dog food, dog fooding our data residency environment. So this is actually running in Yammer production on a particular tenant. That tenant is set up for data residency. And hopefully from the Batcave, I will be able to post a message today. Our engineers are obsessed with Batman. What do you say? Yeah. Let's see if that. And just to let you know, this is, oh, fantastic. This is literally in development right now. Our engineers are deploying to this daily. It's always about a risk that there's a deployment going on. It doesn't work, but to recognize the amount of work that goes into actually delivering this program, I thought it would be worthwhile to just show you this in action. That's as exciting as it gets, unfortunately, because it's very hard to show the bits in a data resident site. But this is as close as you're going to get. You're going to have to trust me, but we are working hard here. I wouldn't slip into any of the other groups like Cats of OLS or anything else. Not too sure what content may exist in there. But yeah, thanks very much. So it is a public group. It is a public group in our Gotham City environment. I just set it up today. I wasn't too sure whether I was going to do a demo, but we are getting incredibly close. This is our reliability is getting better every day, and we're working through it. So we will be ready for preview very soon. So switch back across the presentation. Nope. What this is. Okay. So that was the video in case it didn't work. Perfect. Okay. So that's data residency. Be ready. April 2018. It's going to be pretty amazing. We're pretty excited about it happening. But with that, I'll pass on to Kevin, who's going to talk through the compliance features that we can build on top.
Yeah, thanks, John. So that's definitely one of the bigger projects we've ever done at Yammer, the data residency program. We're all very excited to see that in preview very soon. But I'd like to talk to you now about some of the additional features that we'll get from this accelerated path on top of data residency to better compliance and security features for you as tenant administrators. But let's take a look at where we are compliance-wise today in Yammer. Today we're in a group of compliance that we call Tier C. Tier C is a group of compliance commitments that we offer across Office 365 that includes EU Model Clause, HIPAA, and various other industry-leading compliance commitments. But we're not stopping there. Mohammed mentioned we're going to be a part of the Office 365-wide initiative to support you on your GDPR journey as well. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. So building on top of what John was talking about with data residency, what does this give us that allows us to accelerate our roadmap? Well, the first thing that it's going to give you is e-discovery. E-discovery, if you're not familiar with it, allows you to search and export data for legal cases, discovery requests. This is a part of the Security and Compliance Center's admin area. And today it supports Exchange Online mailboxes, Office 365 groups, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint Online, Skype for Business. You might notice that Yammer is missing. It won't be very, very soon. So Yammer will be a part of this e-discovery tool in the Security Compliance Center. Hopefully that makes everyone's job a little bit easier. So the next thing this data residency program will get you is DLP. This is data loss prevention. Again, this is a feature that's offered in the Security and Compliance Center in the admin area. What this does, if you're not familiar with it, is allows you to identify if sensitive content is being shared outside of your tenant or within your tenant. It covers more than 80 different content types, such as social security numbers, credit card numbers. And what this will allow you to do is get a notification if those items are being shared. And it can also offer a tip to the user as they're trying to share it to educate them on security and hygiene practices and policies. Now, the third thing we get out of the data residency capability is customer lockbox. Now, this is something that I don't think a lot of people have discovered, but it's also a feature that's offered in the Office 365 tenants. And as a security, a services engineer, what happens if you reach out and have a problem with your tenant and you reach out to customer support and create a case? What they might need to do is go and investigate what's going on in the data in your tenant. So the way this works across the board is for that engineer on my team to get access to your tenant to resolve this problem, it requires manager access inside of Microsoft. So we have a process set up for that. What Lockbox allows you to do is insert yourself into the approval process. So you know when this is happening. You can approve or deny this request for access, and you get an audit log as a result of any of these accesses to your tenant data. So those are three big benefits we get out of this accelerated path to this singular experience for Yammer in Office 365. And I mentioned this compliance journey we're on. If you're not familiar with GDPR, GDPR is an EU regulation. It's the General Data Privacy Regulation. And this goes into effect in May of 2018. It affects you if your organization collects or analyzes personal data for EU residents. It requires you to use third-party data processors who guarantee their ability to comply with the requirements of the GDPR. So Yammer, as a part of Office 365 and the suite, we are supporting this effort together, in particular in the areas of accessing or deleting personal data, detecting and reporting personal data breaches, and demonstrating your compliance with the GDPR. This is a much, much larger topic than just Yammer. This affects all of Office 365 tenants, and we do have a broader session focused on the GDPR and how it may affect you as an Office 365 customer. The information is there. It's on Thursday. And it's the session ID, if you want to search for it, is BRK2189. So building on some of the additional features on this path to the singular experience for Yammer and Office 365, we have some cool features that integrate better controls around user and session management. So today, Yammer has integrated single sign-on with Office 365. There's no separate password, and that's been the case for some time. But we're still not 100% dependent on the Active Directory session and access token controls. That's changing. Available early next year, Yammer sessions will have these enhanced controls that are applied through Active Directory, the Admin Center, and PowerShell. You'll have more granular control over the token the access token lifetimes through Active Directory policies, anywhere from 10 minutes to 24 hours. You can require a refreshed access token. And this will also allow faster and more consistent login experience for users across the board, more similar to the rest of the Office suite. Now, finally, search is a big benefactor that, from our efforts to this singular experience. And this is something we're going to get mostly for free, and I'm really excited about it. You know, Microsoft has one of the best search technologies in the world, and we're going to be a big benefactor of that. Convergence to Yammer onto the Office 365 substrate is going to have a big impact on search. It's going to be powered by Office 365. It's going to be more consistent. And this search will bring us improved results through machine learning powered relevance. We're going to be able to have better query understanding. So actually understanding what the user is searching for if they pose a question to search. We're going to have fuzzy matching and lots of other capabilities that you'd expect out of a modern search experience. We'll also be incorporating signals from across the graph, which will be fantastic, and that'll provide better search results as well. And additionally, we'll have first-class language support. So this search will work better for customers all around the world. So that brings us back to the singular, consistent experience that we're moving toward and all the benefits that we hope to roll out in the next 6 to 12 months: local data residency, e-discovery, DLP, GDPR, better user and session management, and better search. So I'm going to hand it back to Mohammed, and we'll talk about how to get engaged.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. So as promised, we wanted to make sure that you can all participate in the preview program and give us some early feedback. This is a voluntary program, but if you are a global admin of your tenant, you can go to previews.office.com and enter that nomination code. That will put you in a queue to be signed up for the preview program. Again, this is not an automatic sign up into the preview program. We maintain a queue, and we will slowly onboard new customers onto the preview program. Again, the other way is that you can reach out to your account teams, and again, you can ask them to enroll you into the preview program also. So again, we'll love all your early feedback. Please, if you're interested, please do sign up. I guess with that, we can take some questions.
There are mics in the aisles here if you have questions, and if you would like to come up and ask us questions after, that's as well. That's fine too.
Hi. Working or not?
Oh, there we go. We can hear you.
With e-discovery, does that mean you also have the ability to set retention policies similar to SharePoint and groups and other content in the Compliance Center?
That's still an open question, so we'll be planning out the actual details of how those specifics will work over the course of the preview and into GA. But if you'd like to work with us on those requirements and how we would prioritize, that would be fantastic.
And e-discovery is also dependent on the local data residency, so that's H2 2018. Is that true?
That is correct.
Okay.
Second half of 2018.
Thank you.
Yep.
This side.
Yes, there you go.
So being in a highly regulated industry, this is quite welcome. So thanks for getting us there quicker. But thanks for getting us where you are. With respect to all the stuff, especially the file storage and SharePoint and whatnot, is that all predicated on having the Yammer sites being connected with groups?
Yes, that's the case. So, as mentioned, we're expecting in spring 2018 to start for new groups that are created and are created connected. We'll automatically bind those to SharePoint Online document libraries.
Okay, that's cool. So we just haven't rolled out groups yet, so that's why the question. So for those like us who haven't rolled out groups, how does it appear to those? And I'm not saying we're not going there, it's just we haven't done it yet, so just curious how it will look.
Yeah, unfortunately, connected groups is a fundamental building block for data residency. We have to get closer to the O365 environment, and connected groups is kind of our, it maps us out into O365, and so without that, there's not really a lot we can do. All the infrastructure around non-connected groups is in Yammer today, and so that's the big push, is to actually move to connected groups and then enable these features on top.
Okay, cool, thanks for that. With the connected groups, is it all or nothing? In other words, you just connect them and therefore you get everything, or can you choose to not do a piece or not your one? Again, I'm asking because we aren't there yet. That's
sure. So connected groups for files is on a per group basis. And that, as I say, that'll be spring. However, for data residency, our expectation is that we'll require fully connected groups and also AAD map tenants.
Okay, cool. Thanks very much.
Right here.
Okay, so it's not so clear for me. You mentioned the integration with SharePoint, and the files will be located on SharePoint. So will we have the possibility to link a Yammer group file location with an existing SharePoint team site?
Could you just repeat the last part of?
Okay, so imagine I have a team site.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that my Yammer files will be located on my team site.
Well, if you have an existing team site, I don't think we can't choose which site you get connected to. Mm-hmm. But if you provision a group, you're going to get a team site. And I think going forward, I'm not an expert on this, but I believe if you provision a site on O365 groups in SharePoint, you're going to get the linked Yammer group as well.
So you can't choose the location, it will be on the group site location, right?
That's a comment.
No.
I can take that offline.
Okay.
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 Yeah, so just to repeat, that is coming. We're talking about it, and we'd love to talk to you more about how that will work. Yes, over here.
Yeah, about data residency, does it mean the whole Yammer network will be stored in one location, or can it be different locations based maybe on group, some group data ending up in the US, another group ending up in Europe, another group ending up in Asia Pacific, for example?
So today we are not offering that feature, although I know that O365 Groups is actually working to be able to select where your group is located. I think that will be follow on for us. We haven't worked through the implications for that. We're really focused, as I mentioned, on launching, first of all, in Europe, understanding the performance, etc. Obviously, we have to deploy other Yammer services there. So if we get into the situation where you're moving your groups globally, we would need to spend more time understanding the performance and building out services worldwide. So for now, we're launching with groups located in Europe and a single region as well. Right. But I expect...
So do you have that in the roadmap of supporting multiple regions for one network, or not yet?
We don't have a timeline for it.
Right, okay.
But you know, we're with deeper integration and convergence with O365, a lot of these things start to happen for us. But the steps that we have to go through are to validate that they work for Yammer well. We just can't switch these things on straight away.
Understand. Thank you.
So will you enable the ability for us to stop someone from creating the old legacy Yammer groups and only create Office 365 groups?
Well, this is where also we start with new tenants as well to enforce that. And ultimately, to have data residency, we will need to enforce connected groups.
One question over here.
Hi. On the SharePoint integration, where the file goes into a SharePoint library, it was unclear to me what the user experience would be to get back to Yammer from that SharePoint library. What is your plan? I know it's early days, you're just demoing, but what is your plan for that?
I don't know, Angus?
Well, just you didn't have to switch over to the doc. You had to, yeah. We'll get Angus. There we go.
Those Yammer groups already have a connected SharePoint site, and in SharePoint today, it actually says in the top right corner something about go to group conversation or something. There's a link that goes back to Yammer from SharePoint. They're going to be much more integrated. That's there today. So you can already switch easily between Yammer and SharePoint. And obviously in Yammer, you've got the link to SharePoint. But you can also access all those SharePoint files directly in Yammer. So in the demo that John showed, he uploaded the file, then went to SharePoint to see it. Yeah. But equally, he could click on the little SharePoint icon and you'll see those SharePoint files in Yammer. And then I assume eventually we're going to have the SharePoint files tab in Yammer group itself.
Okay, good, because group conversations means Office 365 group conversations.
That's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been in some of the previous sessions, but there seems to be an increasing trend for dependency on Azure Active Directory Premium or advanced discovery capabilities with E5 licenses. Can you kind of clarify in this roadmap what pieces have those dependencies and what do not?
That's a very good question. So on AAD, one of the things, for example, that we're going to rely on for all company is a feature called dynamic groups. Dynamic groups is a premium feature. So we're trying to work out how we can deliver this without AAD premium. That's work in progress, but there are clearly some things that we need to work through. Right now, we're focused on the engineering and making it work, but we do know that premium AAD is an issue. Other constraints, I'm not too sure on.
What about some of the specifics for the e-discovery pieces you laid out? Are those the advanced discovery capabilities that fall into the E5 SKU, or are those available for E3 customers?
I really couldn't speak to that. What I can say is that the e-discovery platform that we're using is going to be very well. It is the same e-discovery platform that's used in the rest of O365, but I don't know how the licensing works.
Yeah, and I think I would just add, I think those are largely undecided yet, and we will figure those out as we roll these out over the next several months. So if you'd like to have a voice in that conversation, that'd be great.
Oh, swag. Ha.
Yeah, I think John Boyle has some swag for folks. We didn't talk about how to give it away, though. T-shirt cannon? Yeah, so that's it if there are no more questions. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll just hang out here and answer any questions if you have any. Thank you.